kind of dominance. And Wave this time going to be starting on the defense.
And funnier-wise to me, it would be a rematch from yesterday. Because both individuals played against each other, and it was Wave being absolutely dominant. Now, we're going to find out how much they can get out of that one. Instalock Race is going to push, and well, he might be playing Viper, but he's sticking to the spirit of that agent. And as the very nice shotgun comes in, Murray capitalized on the first. The rest is already storming on the site. They might have had control over the bomb spot, but it doesn't change the matter of fact. Smite Royce, this is good from Murray.
Spike down B.
Zik is holding onto this elbow, knows that there's going to be two players trying to push him with that utility, one of which is low. The flash is going to connect onto him. He still gets one before he's traded out. Now Murray on the side is going to work out where Cider is. He gets mowed down from the Viper's pit. Orlando, 1 versus 3, doesn't know where these players are. Wasn't expecting Carcass on the right-hand angle. 1-0 to Wave Esports, didn't even let the spike go down. They're very comfortable with this composition by the looks of it too.
This is brutal for Murray. The awareness and the accuracy of that shot dart. You gotta love it. I gotta tell you, this is amazing stuff. And this is where I love this composition so much, really. You know, as we have a mirror matchup at this point, attack and defense shouldn't make too much of a difference talking about it. Obviously from the actual tendencies of both sides. But other than that, that'll be an interesting game for sure.
It's just more of a deeper change for MACKO when it comes to who's playing what agents now. For Wave, not too much has changed. Zik's going to be put under pressure, but he has the better gun, so it's easy as you like. Mowed down by Cider and Zik, working their way up towards their ultimates, which are still going to be impactful in this one. This is what we call the meat grind.
It's definitely tasty. You call it salsicha. Or at least that's the sauce. They're very, very good.
Yeah, that's a bratwurst for Wave there.
They're all running into that. Crazy stuff. But, you know, last time we saw that conversion round go nearly in the way for MACKO. This time it's most definitely different.
It used to be Murray that played the Sky, I'm pretty sure, because Wave were one of the few teams that played okay. Zazzy wins that early duel against the Marshall. Yeah, Wave were one of those early teams to play a lot of Sky, and it caught up teams like Fnatic very early on. They haven't really been able to live up to that form, didn't qualify for Masters 1, even though they were part of every single qualifier for it. Didn't quite go their way. Yeah. Unfortunately, Wave, we didn't really see them play at all in Stage 2. They just didn't seem to get anywhere close. Not even losing to teams like Fnatic, but teams before that in their own open qualifiers. It's very disappointing considering what this team can do. But here, they're looking pretty good against MACKO. They have a good deal on the meta, and it's a nice trade-out, actually. Means that the numbers for MACKO are still in favor, and they're able to do more damage. If it wasn't for Zik, he gets 2 kills, brings it down to 2 versus 2. Can't win that duel onto Instalock Raise. All have decided to clutch this out.
Spike planted.
This is the point in time where this could be a very strong snake fight, but unfortunately for him, it's just a little too far to win. And that is a great crossfire. Instalock Race together with his teammate fight first. And the only thing about Wave, really, from a development point of view, is that Cider's back and forth, him leaving, him rejoining somewhere in March, was a little odd. But other than that, the team still is in a quite good shape, I would say.
I mean, I don't know how much of that was just some of the tournaments they played had to have a full Dark Region roster. Because Cider's not a part of that, I don't think.
True.
He's Norwegian, isn't he?
He is Danish, but it was funny wise. Yeah. It was funny wise him actually doing the trial, starting in February, and then he pretty much said, "I don't think I can keep on working with the team." So it seems like they just didn't go in a direction where they just could find each other, right? And suddenly he's back in it. So. Either way, something must have changed, in a good way, for sure. Let's see if something good changes for MACKO here.
Poison's off. I've I've got your
That Ultron is going to lead the line. The Seekers now actually not going towards the site. They're wrapping around to catch these other players, which have provided Cider a bit of a chance to hold an aggressive angle and not get pushed out of it. He's still continuing on. Zik is finding these lineups too. He gets a third. And a flawless, brutal round. I gotta feel bad for MACKO though. They use that Sky Ultimate and it goes the other direction.
I've got
Watch
your
it in the
trail.
minimap. It's like, nope, we're going this way. See you later.
In the kind of direction where I think A site must be clear. And this is where you ask yourself, wait a sec, how does the ult actually think that going the right way around through hookah is being closer? Thanks, Riot.
Unlucky. It's always a bit of a gamble with an ultimate like that, and especially if you wanted to lead the line on an execute where you know that Wave are going to be facing and fighting towards you. Not the best. Gravity Well does get used, but Cider's still able to dedicate to a big, aggressive peek and gets the kill for the smoke. Takes a little bit of more damage than he probably would have done before because he was vulnerable from the Gravity Well. But they can do that. MACKO Esports are just on pistols right now. Wave still continuing to burden them with that lead.
An in-solo race. Making a move over for bathroom. A position that hasn't really been contested by Wave. This is gonna bite him. We'll see. I have a little bit of a deja vu. This is the Wave meat grinder we have met before. Cider falling. It's not the way you want it, but oh goodness gracious, the dart in combination with the shots, it's working fine. Defenders keep up a strong pace.
This is where Wave don't look as wobbly as maybe Big did in their quarterfinal game that we casted. It just... They're not going to get caught up. Yeah, they lose one place with Sheriff. Zik, Fury, everybody's just lining up these players. They take those duels, trade off of each other. This is a very tight Wave team. They seem to have really adapted to the Astra, the Viper. I think Wave as an org are very supportive of them, allow them to boot camp and set these players up for success. Not a bad org to be a part of. The Wave really bearing the fruit so far in this tournament. They're looking much more consistent than we've seen in previous.
The thing for me about side Wave is it's interesting when we see them as defender, because statistically speaking they are way worse as though they start equally much in defender and attacker. This is the thing, right? They start equally much in defender and attacker. And a little example would be, for example, in the beginning of April when they played against NIP. They were down 3-9 on attack and made it back 9-3 as defense. It's going to be interesting to see. As for now, with a minute left on the clock, the decision from MACKO has been made.
They can only push through one side, though, unless they want to make their way through a Viper's pit. Zik, from his little perch, is watching on. This Astra utility, the snake bite's just going to delay and delay and delay. There's only 40 seconds left now for MACKO Esports to make this pressure. And Muri in a corner that Cider was playing from. Is it going to get cleared out or not? The XQ starts to come in, they do check it.
Thankfully for them, they do check it. There comes the double smoke setup. And it would be still side of Wave who would have... Yep.
Oh, they get Cider.
This is good. Zik's getting it. No way you're getting that plant. And that's absolutely nasty. I think that orbital strike is coming in any second soon. As no Corcus falls, Fabin is on it. But can he deny the plant once more? No way! He's finding more! Oh my God. What are you made of? What an insane play by him! And he's taking a page out of the book of MACKO. He's ripping it apart and reading it in front of them. What was that? From it?
They just all seemed to line up to him, the magnetic pulse that he was waiting there. Fabin plays so well to just put that pressure in. But they all line up, and then they all flick out.
I mean... this is the point in time where you remain speechless. This was already good that he got himself a planner, right? And at that point in time, I thought, yeah, you can't win this if you run, makes a ring around the rosy, but this is nasty.
Oh, MACKO. They just, one by one. I like the fact that they put that pressure on to stop that spike from being planted. It opens up mistakes, and suddenly the pressure coming in again. It's easy cleanup. Wave are just lining up these guys. paper tigers right now, as MACKO not being able to really set the standard. It looked like it was a round that they were going to take. And Wave, they showed it when they needed to. And just with the Sheriff, Humlick just gives us a moment to recuperate after that round because, Lord, Wave are on something right now.
This is one of the best moments I've ever seen in this entire game. That play was out of this world, considering he plays Astra. Astronomical. Rather dodging those poor plays. Silver platter. This is what the spike is on, and Grumlick made a step. I could imagine they've heard that.
30 seconds left.
You know where Humlick is. Can you get one? No, you can't. The esports are just not letting this spike go down, even in a round like that. It was problematic. I like the high tempo. It's a round that's very often big ultimates and only get one kill for it. Muri, Karkas, Cider, they're all picking up angles that MACKO is struggling to clear. And Zik is 16 and 3. We saw a similar performance like that from Obnox earlier on. Wave Esports are looking to just run riot with this one, and a full buy for MACKO Esports with 2 ultimates. The Seekers and the Cosmic Divide is there. Nico's going to get those Seekers. Hopefully he won't U-turn in the direction that he doesn't want it to go in. The Trailblazer's going to clear Huka for the attackers.
At this point in time, I think motivation could even play a crucial role, because it's not like MACKO is always on the edge of finding success. Again and again and again, they're just being absolutely obliterated. And whatever raids they try, the man guarding it are just way better. Karkas tries to survive. Uh-oh, and I think this little bot does major damage, but here come the Seekers. The Flash is coming in as well. This is a great combination, or easy frags for Nico are coming in. They still find a way to deny access for MACKO.
Karkas is going to hold in close. Getting up and going. There's no spike being planted yet. They've got that space already taken on the A site because of Instalock raises lurk. They're going to continue pushing as they hear Wave Esports making their way through.
30 seconds left.
It's a nice off angle to play from, especially when it comes to the toxic screen. Players like Karkas assume that they're safe from that position. They're not. Now the slow back out. Lamps control still handy for MACKO. With esports now, 2 players left, have to make it a good retake.
They gotta slay them all one by one. And reconquering this room will not be too easy. Way too many corners to check. The information is not delivering anything. That part, not a single opportunity. Just lock it down and keep the guards up. Good stuff from MACKO. Finally a second round for them after they've been pretty much slammed to the ground again and again. And they seem to run on E. It's time to refuel. It's time to get revitalized. Otherwise, they will just cower in the corner and Wave are pretty much pulverizing them then.
Yeah, they have the right idea, the right movements. Like, MACKO are playing this much smarter than you would expect from a team that we've never really heard of up until when it was March when they formed. They know how to work a map like Bind. They seem really confident on it. This was their map pick, but it's also something that Wave Esports are incredibly strong on too. And you're going to push up a bit more aggro on A Cubby. Even if they can just see these executes come in, but Instalock Wave spots one. Does he spot both the players? Does he know that Side is in that position as well? Babin's going to follow through with the Aldrun to help scout out to see exactly these angles that Wave Esports are playing from. And all of them are very cute off angles that MACKO should be clearing.
Nice flash. Sees him around the corner. 3 frac gains. There's another flash that's coming in, but he rather dodges it. A very reasonable move. And at this point in time, they still rotate, Ryan. It's only 2 men defending, and look who's moving. Zik, the top fragger, has decided to guard A.
Just gonna hop down. No reaction from Nico. He just gets shot in the head for his troubles. Muri also playing from that angle. Certainly wasn't expected from Lando. Why would 2 players be in that same position? And Muri's holding on as the onslaught comes in. Recon's out on the top is gonna give out some information. Not at all. It's instantly deployed. Zik is there to protect. Muri isn't allowing any of this to happen, and this just feels like it's retake training for Wave Esports. They're just not letting these executes break on through.
Yeah, great practice for them, considering there aren't any retake servers yet in Valorant.
There's not really been that many retakes in this game, to be honest. It's just MACKO trying to execute, and Muri finding these angles. Looking one side, getting a kill. Looking the other, getting a kill. I wouldn't say it's easy for Wave, because it's not, but they're dealing with this tremendously well.
True. You gotta say, it's not a Wave Esports that punch above their weight. You know, you see them as the favorite for a very good reason, and the underdog so far. Pretty much left in a horrible scenario. They just try once and again to storm on those sides and to open fire. They fail again and again. It's sad to see, but at the same time, what kind of brilliance from Wave?
Nico is not giving up any control onto B lobby. Even now, MACKO Esports are just giving up all of this space that they've used Boombot to clear hookah. Now they're just going to give it up and rotate away to A. Side is in that little cute corner that we've seen multi-kills come out of Wave. And you would expect Zik is from distance on Heaven, looking for those duels. He seems to be very good at them. There's the angle being cleared out. It is going to force Cider away, but the protection is there. Hunter's Fury also is just going to make sure that this execute can't come in. That's really nice team play. Cider was in trouble. They're using ultimates to bail him out.
30 seconds left.
Those are for at least 30 seconds. They have to once more get through it. It's going to deal good damage in a free frag from Carcass. This is insane stuff. They all line up once more. The race is capitalized, and Nico swings wide as well, and suddenly Garden belongs to them. No room, no opportunities. MACKO are once more down in the dirt, and the corpses that have been left on the battlefield just vanish. 8-2. And this is where defense is just played by the book.
These attempts to break through, Carcass is in a position, and I think what makes it so key as well is they get a kill, they hold off angles. Look at where Nico was there. He was in the corner. Soon as those executes start, he peeks out just a little bit to put him on a really awkward angle, make sure that he's playing aggressively, and MACKO are too busy facing against somebody else on the site that they don't expect this guy to just come out of the near corner against them to get that kill. Just the timings that Wave Esports have on these peaks are so good. MACKO don't really have a response. Fury knows he's going up against pistols. It's just going to mow down and punish, and masterclass on Bind from Wave. You like sighed at the same time as Sova did. That was weird. He went, huh, and he just went, huh. I don't do that.
I have to say, all right, considering that Wave is in a position where they once more show how great they are on defense side. As mentioned, their attack is fairly weak, considering specifically that they don't always start on defense. So it's not like you never see them on attack. It's not the case as well. This is going to make it very interesting. As for now, Muri has not bought honor.
Oh,
Did he lose it?
He's being chipped away at, so it's quite likely that some of the damage Cosmic Divide is going to provide a bit of space, and Carcass still gets that first kill over into hookah. Cider though,
Down, B.
checking him out. Raze now, and it's still not Raze, even not the actual Raze, is going to be holding into hookah on their own. Nobody from Wave is going to try and pincer and push them. 20 seconds left. It's not really enough time for a rotate, but it is going to be attempted. At least Instalot Raze is trying to find a different way to go about it, or it's just saving the gun. Whichever way, it's looking bleak as Wave Esports are expecting this hit to come in. He has to clear all of these angles. There's two players over on this site. He's an inkling where they are. Spot onto one, pushes out. Wasn't expecting Carcass.
This is a shoestring first half of MACKO, really.
Neutralize.
Don't make anything work.
Enemy down.
This fight was so awkward for Muri, really. I mean, he got the two, don't get me wrong. But either way, it's MACKO from an ult perspective, not even looking too great. You see that there is a nice opportunity considering that they have the Fury, the Pit, and also the Cosmic Divide. But all those abilities, specifically the last two, are only so pivotal when you are actually defending or have territory.
Okay.
Zazzy's not had a good map so far. He was one of the great plays. 16 and 15 he ended on Haven. He's like 4 and 10, I think, at this point. Not as good. But it's not been as good from MACKO overall. They've really struggled on this map pick, their map pick. Wave Esports are not relying on ultimates. They're not even relying on clutch plays like we saw from Zik. They're just so good at cleaning these angles. And even in a fight where we see Wave kind of just jump into the sight lines of MACKO there, Wave can still get one.
They have platform control to work. Seekers now lead the way. This is the opportunity to get a game changer. There's once more the Cosmic Viper. This is all nice and great. Whilst those Seekers are not doing a great job, considering that you don't know what's actually behind that line side. They're still trying. Oh goodness, this is awkward. This is awkward, but Zik strikes at least. Lance going down though.
Welcome to my world.
Ooh, Viper's Pit 2. 2 versus 3. Could be a 10-2 half for Wave Esports if they clutch this out. Last time a Viper's Pit went down, some crazy stuff happened. Not likely to happen here, but it is Zik alive in a 1 versus 2. And the Viper goes down, meaning that there's no more Viper's Pit. Checking these angles is going to be tough. There's no other utility from Astra to rely on. It's the Gravity Well Recon Dart combo is just going to make it difficult. Managed to slip through, sees one, slips around, doesn't understand or know where Zazzy's playing from. And can't clear it up. Wave Esports still winning the half with a pretty big deficit of 9-3. Now they go into their attack. MACKO Esports have it all to do.
It's unfortunate for them right here. The overall half was a disaster, purely a disaster. Finally, they could strike in the final round. A very weird, reoccurring theme overall in esports. Same in CS. That stuff happens on a regular. But either way, I'm seeing this as an opportunity for MACKO. Starting out on the defense, Astra and Viper, great individuals to deny any access, but they gotta make it work, and they have to make a long run around.
I'm not going to breeze just yet. I imagine certainly Wave Esports will be practicing and conniving their way around the map to see what works. A thinking man's team, if I've ever seen one. But are they an attacking team on bind with this composition? Viper's Pit's going to block, a Toxic Screen even is going to block off those players in lamp. It's a defending Toxic Screen that's going to slow down this split from Wave Esports. More players free in showers, in bath for Wave on this execute. And the rest, lackadaisically keeping an eye on other areas of the map to see what they can find.
So they come with the attack over on the side. As they move on to A, Grace is getting caught. This is a classic Asian with a right click through the screen. Alright, why not? Let's try it that way. And they just make it pretty much fair and square. As it seems to be nothing else but flawless. Nico this time around can't repeat the clutch history of his teammates.
I mean, that would be a crazy 1v5 ace.
Another
pistols. Yeah, pistols to just make it interesting. And it was a good attempt of it. Instalot raised it well to switch from one side to the other with all of that utility coming in to flush him out and still surviving. Wave, they're 9-4 up. They don't need to stress. They don't need to work out too hard when it comes to what they can do. And the kill that was gathered was from Nico. He's the closest to his ultimate than anybody else, but nobody's really going to have them early on unless some crazy stuff happens. MACKO know that it's going to be a B hit. Slow rotation, they've got a lot of players actually stacked up in showers just in case that hit comes in. But they're feeding Nico up, getting these Seekers early might be the key to unlocking their attack. And on these pistols, we're not expecting much to happen this round, at least.
Yeah, Wave overall seems to be a team that is very utility-driven. And therefore, I'm very excited to find out once they have the weaponry and every single ability on the belt. But for now, they're patient. They just wait. They want to play this game where the distraction could come in big. The dart is getting them though. And now they have to start it. Attacks coming in swift and fast. They move over on B.
See what MACKO do? Bit of utility is going to be peppered at them to make them reconsider how they want to approach this. The flashes are constantly finding success, and Humlick with a ghost is just
Spike
left
down.
clicking as much as he possibly
One-
can. The
Oh.
spike dropped and picked up and dropped again.
30 seconds
Cider
left.
with the classic in a 1 versus 5 yet again. I don't think this is going to be happening here, but at least he gets one. MACKO at least making this a little bit more competitive.
They had a you know, if that one dart didn't happen, it seems like it could have worked so well. But the plant, this is so annoying. This is so annoying. You see it right there. You hate this goddamn Astra in the new patch. One of the things that I think they didn't need to do. But other than that, the buy's in.
Yeah, I mean, Astra's good. I think she's maybe a bit too good, but like, it's not like she's. I mean, I was going to say it's not like she's oppressively strong, but like, she's borderline. I think on that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it's raising beta kind of thing. That 2 pain
nasty.
shells. Oh my god.
Even worse than your own Astra sucking you in.
It does say that. Don't say it like that, at least. Full buy here for Wave Esports. Again, taking their time over on this A site. And they have the toxic screen up and down. They've pulled this rotation from MACKO over. It's just going to be the Sky in this spot. Who flashes? Finds nothing. There's a minute left on the clock. I don't know whether they have the Trailblazer. This is where I missed the VCT UI, because it'd be nice to see if they have that Trailblazer, just to see if they can scout out that information. Usually you see teams about the 40-second mark bring it out. I mean, we saw the Eldra, and that's kind of in line with it. Imagine as soon as the sound is heard from the Sky, I'm going to back up into a safe position. Trailblazer might be used. See what they can find. Especially now that there's been a smoke here. Let's see if they have it or not.
Yeah, and they're pretty much checking every single corner as they try to breeze on the side of B. That spike should possibly go down. And the one interesting part on the minimap is that there is a flanking Viper. Other than that, the smoke is dissipating soon. And now they know. They were just waiting. The fire squads on both sides just readying up. And therefore, it's man equalized. 4 versus 4. Retakes on. Lando tries. The Seekers are coming in. And now he definitely knows about the long individual, or does he? It's Humlick who still finds Muri. The retake's still on.
Needs to lot raised. They're finding all of these players from waves that played from these key positions, all up to Cider now, 1 versus 3. Nobody's wrapping in. The spike seems like it's been dedicated to at least halfway. Cider's attention's been taken. The defuse is fully committed. They get the kill. And suddenly, Wave Esports, they were 9-3 up. They haven't won a round since this attack has started. And MACKO are looming behind them just a little bit, and they could just catch up when it comes to these rounds.
And can they actually tame the boys from Wave? Can they make it just a little wavelet? Is the question. Well, at that point in time, surely those little sharers are coming out. There's $800 pistols that can split heads easily. And with a change of pace, or at least a change of direction, they aim for the A side for now. But this is pretty much a mirror matchup in the sense that we see the same utility coming out from both parties.
We've not seen a change in these setups, I suppose, for Wave on the attack. The same Viper walls are put in the same spots. I mean, there's going to be another round where much isn't going to come. But they're failing to put MACKO down with this economy. They've won now 3 rounds in a row. Zik is shut down near enough instantly. Wave not only needs to win this next full buy, but the rounds following this. MACKO are good to go for a few rounds now.
And this is what I meant. Their attack is just struggling big time. Extremely meager so far. They don't find fractionally. I mean, this round is not the best considering they only have the sharers and not too much utility left. But they struggle. Waffle big time to keep up the opposition. As I say, Muri at least finds one,
30 seconds
but his
left.
teammate falls.
Not only have MACKO been able to win out these rounds, they do it near enough flawlessly, only losing 1, at most 2 players in a round. is up against worse weaponry for the time, but Muri now could make this costly, or at least more costly. It's a nice idea for the recon dart to take Instalock, raise his attention enough for Muri to come in and get that headshot, but he can't connect. Instalock does. Another straightforward round, an easy round for MACKO Esports to clear up.
And it could be actually the rematch from yesterday if Wave win right there. Same goes for Big, obviously. They haven't also taken Luminar down yet. But it is the T sides. And this is where the attack from both parties seem to struggle. It doesn't seem to be just an occurring theme for mainly Italian team. Same goes for Wave.
I'm not going to expect the operator. Fabin's, the first time he's used it, I imagine Wave Esports have ran into MACKO a lot often to know that this is something that they like to do.
Oh,
and it's not, they don't have a sky there. Like, where do you have a sky?
Oh,
okay, maybe the angle wasn't as good as Fabin thought it was. That's a big mistake. That's like a map losing mistake if it's caught out. Certainly with how Wave have been patient and very careful with these approaches. The surprise operator, the pocket sand approach, not really working out well for MACKO, and it's punished.
Here comes the information dart. Those cavalry have vibrated. Right, they need to find nobody else than Instalock Rays. This is chaos descending on the site, but Muri's on it. This is where Hunter's Fury is still also on the opposing side. It's working to some degree. 6 still standing. They know about the Heaven player, and surely they're aware. And also Sova must be close to the spawn, but they just use nothing else than the teleporter.
Yeah, the Seekers just completely get destroyed because of it. They can't function with this. They're working their way through, but Muri's not affected by them at all. He's under that pressure. Humlick, now the last alive, still has that owl drone. Just trying to see where exactly these players are going to be playing from. He's out in the open, and look how patiently Wave are taking this. The recon that's going to show that pulse. The peak is going to be there for either player. And much better for Wave Esports, but I do feel that Hunter's Fury from Muri did bail him out, and a bit of a misplay with that up earlier.
Nowhere to run!
This was a mess. Yeah, this was such a the chaos that has descended on the site, where nobody knew where is left and right, and suddenly the only real reason why I think they prevailed is because they had such quick thinking when it came to the teleporter. Because they were all just set for the site.
I gotta say, I really appreciate good flyovers when stuff like that is happening. Thank the Lord. Like, especially when we're in, like, Astra and Viper metas, to see, like, the big picture on how an execute looks. It's just so good. I mean, it was like that. You can only make sense of what's happening in that round when you get a bird's eye view. So I'm a fan that we got it there, because, yeah, try play by play in that at home. Like, it's good practice at least.
This is where the round you just turn in the favor of Wave. Specifically, you know, you mentioned it quite well. It has been a thing where they have been building up a good economy. The money is looking brilliant for the side of MACKO. And this is where you need to constantly diminish your opponent. Poor Darkness. How is he still alive?
I have the spike.
He does go down. 2 versus 4. Muri can at least heal up some of these players, and there is a bit of a pressing from MACKO. Mostly that utility. They can go through the teleporter, but there is a Viper's Pit and all that utility over towards the A side. Tried to push through. Humlick just sees a glimmer of them before that nebula smoke goes up. They line up nicely. Wave Esports are really struggling on this attacking side of bind. Both teams have. MACKO showing that there's a chance for them to come and bring this to a third map. Wave Esports, just 3 more rounds, they can go to the grand finals. They just need to clear up their act a little bit.
This attacker side is just absolutely difficult. This combination of Astra and Viper is annoying to watch. You see, for example, on A-Long, you put that one Astra star in combination with the orb, easy positioning to then also get a snake bite. The entire position is not usable. You can't move through it. And as they right now take Hookah, this is the first time where Wave's like, hold on, they don't contest that. Why can't we get that position so easily?
Not a lot for Wave to work with guns, but ultimates, it's a different story.
Oh.
It's been so difficult to move this guy off his elbow position. It's something that we've seen Lander do a very good job of. Respects his opponents, even with that worst weaponry. And Viper's Pit is actually dedicated. It's going to be really awkward for MACKO ESPORTS to play this out. But it is just still pistols against classics. But if the enemies are 1 HP, doesn't matter what we're going to do.
You can right-click through it, and suddenly frags are coming your way. The Trailblazer is in it, and they will push. The Viper's Pit is not holding them up. There's another ult to come. Showstopper is here. Carcass can't use it. There's more to come. Yuri tries his best, but Sky is coming closer and closer. Zick knows what to do. He has been the game changer. They're sticking it exactly. They keep on, but those are free frags for Cider. Nico's coming in as well, and those are just pistols. This is thrifty by definition.
It's like they forgot that the Viper was still there. Like, there's still a Viper hanging around. So much attention was taken. That flash from Yuri, of Nico even, is exceptional. Cider just sneaked in. Nobody's paying attention. What do you even do with your MACKO? You're just being Hail Married with all of these ultimates and then just crushed down into a corner. And Wave Esports, they didn't have the guns, but they had the ult. Showstopper, Seekers, Viper's Pit. And they just have that Cosmic Divide. Both teams have that available. I feel that this is your last-ditch attempt if you're MACKO to keep in the series.
And from shoestring to hefty. It seems at one point that, specifically with those pistol, Wave are coming to interpret. You can't just stop them. They're not afraid of anything you put towards them. And finally, they swap up the pace. They keep up with surprise moments. That's at least what it seems like. As here comes Astra with the Divide. That Spike should go down anytime soon. It's a step loudly.
Yeah. I mean, they should have predicted that there'd be at least one player there. Luckily, MACKO ESPORTS had 4 players over on B, so the rotate is going to be a little bit slower. Now Cosmic Divide's going to be used to make this more of a line of best fit.
And another one.
Yeah. It's a nice lineup overall, as these defenders have actually taken a good portion of this site. Still 4 players alive for Wave Esports, but they're playing rather off, and Guiding Light, the last one available for Nico, does line up towards the kill. The shock down lineup for Mira is going to be tough. Spike is being flirted with a little bit. It's being tapped down. And look at all of this. MACKO ESPORTS did so well to take all of that space. Wave Esports didn't do enough.
Oh, goodness gracious. I mean, if I was just doubting if that peek in bathroom was really worth it. The last individual on the side of Wave. The last one who could stop it. And he didn't consider to play time. It might be just a minor mistake. It might be just easy to say from our perspective. And here it goes. Here it goes. I just have my doubts that this was the right move.
Yeah, I think you could put that down to a lot of individuals. Zazie winning that fight against Cider, I think there was in a cubby. That goes wrong. It's a round that goes to Wave. It's getting dicey. A Hunter's Fury is available for Muri. He got a 3K with the last one that he got. Might need to be just as impactful here. This early stuff from Bath has not been going well for Wave. The A executes have been the more awkward one. Now Hunter's Fury used out early. It does tag on to people. It does get that information. And they've brought Insta-Lock raised onto low health. He can get that kill. And Hunter's Fury now traded on the other side. It's allowed a bit of space for Fabin to make his way through. He doesn't die to the boom bot. Kills it just in time. And then 3 versus 4 now. Spike is over on A, but some space has been garnered, actually, from that movement in Zick.
He has to win this duel. This is so crucial for him, but look at Lando.
They don't expect him here. There's
Never,
no idea.
ever. No. It's gonna be so crucial. That one duel, he wins. Now, blocking the vision, knows that there's someone deep down in spawn. And that plan is coming, nevertheless. There is no ult that would make it easier. Still, the stars are there. Uncomfortable, though. There's one more star remaining. He is.
I think if you're Wave here, you need that elbow control. I like the fact that Nico's gone to take it. Zick's got to take these fights, and they're flowing through one by one. Fabian has the showstopper. He's going to get spotted out. And even though both players go down, it still works out for Wave as the spike was planted. 12-9. It's really going down to the wire.
I genuinely believe if you are trying to do the close game on Bind in Valorant, this is the first result that should show up. Wave Esports. Always on the edge of losing it. But yet again,
just froze himself. He's like, as well, if he takes that damage, there is a little bit of damage that happens to the racers. Like, if you stand right in front of them, they might take damage that's lethal at that point. Nika's just like, face me, you fool. It only works out well for Wave in that scenario, and it works out perfectly. I don't know what the money's going to be like now for MACKO Esports. They're just going to have to scramble together to buy what they can. There is a Seekers for Wave. These ultimates have been in a nice rotation, and they've been so pivotal to clutching out. This would be a heartbreaking way for MACKO Esports to go home.
it would be devastating. They were fighting hard. It's not like they were just giving up immediately. The first half, yeah, sure, it looked like it. The second one, though, goodness gracious, MACKO was keeping the guard up, building strong walls and not allowing Wave anything, but here it comes. You talked about it. The economy looks disastrous.
Manda's been very difficult to move from this spot. The Seekers is going to make it more difficult. His Sheriff is even more of an issue. We're actually seeing Zig take those early duels. That's one. He can't quite get the others, but Miri's there to line him up.
This is good stuff that comes in from the side of MACKO. They still are on it. The spike is down, and the man advantage is on the side of Wave. And obviously, Viper has her lineup. Knows what to do. They still find the kills. One more remains. It is the snake bite.